Hi everyone, Susan Tran here for Women's Wednesday, and let's just face it, our lives live on our phones. So today we are talking about how to secure all of our mobile devices with a cybersecurity expert, Elizabeth Kwok from FTI Consulting. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, when we look at our cell phones, our laptops, our tablets, it has everything in our lives,
Yes,
right?
it does.
Bank accounts, addresses, birthdays. We have medical records. I don't even want to talk about what might live in our notes apps. I know there are some people with social security numbers and passwords. This is a trying time.
Yes.
Okay, so if you had to just bare bones, what is the best thing that we can do to protect ourselves?
Well, first and foremost, like you said, everything is on some sort of mobile device. So the very first and basic thing, make sure you lock it. Make sure it has a password or a PIN code or your Face ID. Better yet, try to do 2 layers if it's available on the device. These are just really, it's a simple step you can take. You know, I will still encounter people, my dad, my mom, their phones are not locked. They just say, well, I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. And you say, okay, well, what about the one time you do go to the grocery store and you leave your phone on the counter and then you walk away? Chances are they don't have any of the other things enabled either that would allow somebody to kind of get it back to you. And then you've got an unlocked device, to your point, that has their credit cards, their bank account information, and who knows what they put on a notes app. But yes, so first and foremost, lock your device and make sure that you've enabled the auto lock, whereas if you're not using it for 1, 2, 5, pick your number, it will lock itself.
Have you convinced your parents?
I mean, they're never going to tell me the truth.
Oh!
So I'll check surreptitiously here and there, but yes, I do think so, yes.
Okay. To be fair, so much of our phones, our tablets, our laptops, it's all about convenience. And as a cybersecurity expert, when you are traveling, maybe this is like a mini speed round, but do you use public Wi-Fi?
Not if I can avoid it.
Okay.
Because those are unsecured networks usually, right? The one at the airport where you just have to log in. Sometimes you might have to, provide your name or your email address, but that's really for them to collect more data on you, quite honestly. So even those networks, they're all public. They're unsecured, which means that anybody that's on them, if savvy enough, can spy on the other people that are using them. But again, we live in a mobile world. I'm not going to pretend that there aren't situations where you're at the airport and you really need to get your boarding pass or get something, and you have to get online somehow. So of course I say if I can avoid it. And so when I do use a public network, I make sure that I use it and that I forget it, because you don't want to just automatically be connecting to all these unsecured networks.
Okay, so don't automatically log on.
Right.
So you got to change
always
your settings.
uncheck that box.
Okay.
I never leave that box checked that says, automatically connect or automatically discover and connect or something along those lines. Yeah.
This is a dumb question, but if you're using public Wi-Fi, should you not do things like banking or...
Again, if you can avoid it, right? But I understand, and I've been in this situation, the reason you're logging on is because you need a critical piece of information, right? Especially if you're traveling or something like that. So do it sparingly, do it for only as long as you need. And then, like I said, forget that network. Do not let it auto-connect. And make sure, of course, you log out of whatever services you're using too. Don't just, there are things that are for convenience that are more risky than others. So staying automatically logged in to your apps that have sensitive financial information is what I never do. I don't allow keep me connected, remember me. I always opt out of those if I can.
Okay, so what about things like the tap and pay? Mm-hmm. Safe or not safe?
Pretty safe. I use tap and pay all
Okay.
the time. I mean, to the point where now I have to physically remember to bring a credit card to certain places. But it's quite safe. A lot of those credit card information and other similar tap to pay infrastructure it's very well protected. Again, lock your phone though, and don't have it, automatically appear on your home screen, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But the system itself is very, very safe.
What about, because I did hear something and I wasn't sure if it's fake or real, charging your laptop or your phone into a USB charger in public spaces, a coffee shop, hotel?
Yeah, so that has been proven to be quite risky because you can, a bad actor could install malware or some other bad virus type software into those USB ports. And so if you connect, then you will download that onto whatever device is connected. So if you do need to charge in a public situation, do it using, an old-fashioned outlet. So bring your own cord, and power itself is fine. It's the USB part is a risk.
Okay, so some of those towers that you see at stadiums or events, they come with the plugs. Those are not as safe.
Not as safe, no.
Okay, if you can, bring your own outlet, bring your own cord.
Yes.
Are these facial recognitions, are those a good idea?
They're pretty safe. There is a lot of technology that goes into how facial ID unlocks your phone, and there's been a lot of security built into that. And there's both concerns, right? There's the how secure is it, and then there's how private it is.
Right.
And both have been shown to be quite safe and quite private. On the privacy side, your face information is stored only on your device. So it's not getting sent, to Apple or to Google or whomever. It's just stored on your device. And then from a security standpoint, it is heavily encrypted. There's all sorts of safety built around it.
Okay.
And the idea really there is people have, like me, probably watch a lot of movies and, if I use facial ID, does that mean someone can just take a picture of me and unlock my phone? No. There's a lot of technology that requires the phone to figure out whether it's looking at an actual 3D person, right?
As opposed to a flat surface.
Correct.
All right. You're watching Women's Wednesday. We're with Liz Kwok, a cybersecurity expert, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Women's Wednesday here on DC News Now, and I'm Susan Tran. Joining me is Liz Kwok, a cybersecurity expert from FTI Consulting, and we were just talking about all of the things when we're out in the world and how our lives live on this wee little device. Now we're at home. Do you use products like Siri, Alexa, and all of those voice recognition kind of smart home devices?
Yes, look, I have 2 young kids, so of course I live in the world of, hey Siri, hey Google, hey Alexa, can you play me X song? Obviously, we went through a K-pop Demon Hunters phase, all of the things. So, and they offer a lot of convenience, right? We use, in my personal home, we use a lot of the speakers. We, of course, have cameras and all of that.
Okay.
Yes, and so certainly I understand the convenience that they bring, and they're like utility.
How do you make them safe so someone's not able to kind of dip into your camera for your child in a bedroom or listen in and get information from those devices?
Yeah, so again, a lot of it starts with your actual home network, right? Okay. So make sure that your Wi-Fi is set up with a password. There are pretty simple settings you can do for even the most novice person from the outset to say, make sure my Wi-Fi name is not broadcast. So, when you go around a neighborhood, you may notice that your Wi-Fi list on your phone will start popping up all these names. If you just check that one box to say, do not broadcast, your network won't be one of those. So that's step number 1. And then step 2 is to password protect your network, right? And make sure it's something that is more secure than admin or password 123, something like that. But that's first and foremost. If your network can be secure, then all the devices, such as your camera on there, is now more secure as well. And then, of course, there is just a lot of safety built in from whichever company you may purchase from. Of course, I try to buy from reputable companies. I'm a big believer that you want to go with the companies who have been in the game a long time, have a lot of users. I'm a little bit old school. I believe in the power of the masses. Certainly if I'm
a big brand.
Yes, a big
reliable,
brand. Right. Because they'll also pay attention, right? If there's some widespread issue, they'll pay attention to it. So that's generally what I would advise, to make sure that your devices aren't going to be kind of out there on their own and vulnerable.
What about things like WeTransfer, Dropbox, shared albums, and clouds? Because so many times now, our families are spread out, and everybody wants to, share our videos and our photos of our kids. And are those apps and services safe? I mean, can anybody kind of grab those details?
So usually no. Again, you have settings we do a lot of photo sharing, of course. Like I said, I have young kids. And so you want to make sure that with those sharing settings, you make it specific to whoever has the link. You don't have to make it so that everybody needs to log in or create an account. But there are basic settings, again, that will allow you to limit who gets to access it, right? And it is usually reserved to who has the link. On top of that, you want to make sure that if you have sensitive things like if you have to share with elderly parents or something like that, documents back and forth, you want to make sure that you're using a service that is more secure. So a Dropbox, a Box, those require passwords. They'll require usernames, that sort of thing. And then always try to be as diligent as you can with cleaning things up, right? So when you're sharing documents, for example, maybe after 6 months, go back, just delete it all, that sort of thing.
Don't let it sit. I have files upon files, but we should be deleting.
Yeah, just out of caution. And again, the less you have sitting around, the less you have to worry about if you do learn of a breach. For example, if there's a notification that some server had a breach, you have less to worry about because you don't have 10 years worth of tax returns sitting out there.
That has your social security number and all of your intimate details. Do you have to scrub any data, or do you want to make sure you don't take pictures with GPS or things like that when you are posting maybe on social media?
Yeah, so I definitely advise that for anybody who can, go into your settings in whichever social media platform it is and uncheck a lot of those options, for including geolocation, for sharing geolocation, because those things are just unnecessary, right? They don't add any value when you're showing your picture of your awesome vacation in the Maldives. Do you really need to have it tag exactly where you are on the island? No. And so nowadays, most apps have really put this into a very easy to navigate section. You just go to your account, and it's usually right towards the top. It'll say something along the lines of privacy and security. And you just go in there and just read through them. There's been a lot of work over the last 5-7 years to make all of these options easy to understand and easy to opt in and out of. And we should all take 5 minutes and do that.
And what are some of the dangers of putting a lot of information out there? My friend Nick, who introduced me to you, said, one thing was don't put your birthday out there. Don't put those types of information, your anniversary, things like that. And why are those things kind of just no-nos?
Because they're usually the security answers to passwords, right? Or they're part of your passwords. Like I said,
guilty.
Yeah, exactly. And my parents, certainly guilty, even brothers, sisters, people who are very technically savvy. At the end of the day, we're all people. We're trying to remember these things. And what does your brain naturally do? They go to these things that are kind of personal to you, but easy to remember. But yes, so sharing things like that creates vulnerability because those are typically the answers. Because what are security questions usually? Tell me the street you lived on when you were younger. Tell me what your birthday is or your oldest child's birthday. And if you've got all of that information in a post, of course, I love to post and say happy birthday to my son. But now I have, created that extra little bit of information for somebody who could be looking.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so even when you're setting all of those things up, you should not use those details.
Yeah, we advise, of course, using passwords that are not easy to figure out.
Okay. Hang on one second. We're going to come back. You're watching Women's Wednesday. Stay with us. Welcome back to Women's Wednesday. I'm Susan Tran, and we are talking about securing all of our devices since everything lives on our phone. And this is Liz Qua from FTI Consulting. We have all of our information on our phones, our tablets and laptops, and we're out there in the world. And you're just trying to help us make sure we keep everything safe. And before we went to break, we're just trying to say, okay, life happens. We're going to use all of these things, but here's the best way to keep them safe. Mm-hmm. AI is huge right now. Is it safe to use AI? Should you log in to use it, or can you just use it on the browsers or on the Twitters or everything that's kind of not attached to you?
Yeah, I think AI generally from a security standpoint is quite safe. Of course, there's always the two-pronged question of there's safe and then there's private, right? And I think a lot of people have concerns about what is happening with my question that I put into ChatGPT or whatever service it is you're choosing to use. And I would say that you have to use the same caution you do with using anything, right? When you think about posting on social media, do you know, if that does get logged and shared later, will you care? That's the test I take. Is it that serious?
Can it be attached to you?
There is a lot of research on this. By and large, no. By and large, it's not being stored as this is what Susan searched on XYZ day.
Right.
And as we know, most of these are large language models that reset after a certain number of question and answer with the user and things like that. And so, you know, there has been a lot of reporting on this. As far as we understand it, there's no lifetime log of everything we're asking. You know, I think we want to take a step back and understand that there's really not a lot of use necessarily for these companies to know that it was Susan who is asking this question. They may want to know, generally speaking, how many people are asking that same question because it's interesting. But from a security standpoint, we've seen no reason to be concerned with using the large language models, you know, asking questions, asking to help you plan a menu. I would say that the other areas of AI are a little bit murkier, you know, the ones that use image generation and that sort of thing. Of course, we're seeing more gray area there.
Right, and a little danger zone. When you talk about browsers because a lot of those are formulated from, that's how we get into the internet, is all these browsers. Are there better ones or safer ones that we should be cognizant of? Because I don't know how many times we all are logging into browsers every single day.
Yes, and so again, back to our earlier conversation, we of course advise going with those browsers that you know are made by reputable companies because they're doing things like issuing patches. They're making sure that your browser is up to date, you know, on a pretty much weekly or more basis. I'm being asked to update my browser because there's been a security update to it. So you want to stick with those providers that are kind of constantly maintaining and keeping up to date with the environment that we're all in now.
Do you want to avoid logging on to a browser? You
know, again, this comes to convenience versus risk. I think by and large, most of us benefit a lot when we're logging in, especially if you're using, you know, you're tying it to your email address, and there's a certain convenience to being able to have the same history shared across your phone and your laptop because, you know, when I'm searching for my pair of pants that I really wanted to buy, it's really convenient that I can log on, and then as I move to a different location, I can turn on my laptop and finish the transaction there. So I would say, again, do it, but do it when you need to. I don't think that you have to. You want to make sure, of course, that if you are logging in, it's a browser on a device that you trust. You know, don't go to a library or a hotel lobby and sign in and then forget to sign out. So if you know you're likely to forget to sign out, don't ever sign in.
Okay. And what about, are there apps or monitoring devices to let you know, we have credit checks, you know, for our credit cards. Is there anything like that for our devices, our applications, anything of that sort?
Yeah, so there are definitely third-party services. Again, just like you and me, I'm sure everybody has been a part of one of these breaches and probably been offered some sort of identity monitoring and that sort of thing. And those services do tend to have a add-on service where it can monitor the internet to find out if your information is showing up. Of course, there's kind of the mainstream internet and then the dark web that we've all kind of heard lore about. And there are services to also kind of scan on there and find out if, you know, is your social security number kind of flying around here and there. I would say really, though, for the everyday person, what you should focus on is securing what you have, right? We can't necessarily control if in the past your data has already leaked or something like that, but we can control now. You know, you can make sure that your devices are secure now. Change your password if you know that you were part of a breach before.
Okay, so we have about a minute left, and you said at the top that securing the device is number one. So how do you best get a good password that you can remember that you might use a couple of times?
So for your device level, you can obviously use, you know, your biometric, your thumbprint or something like that. That's really easy or a PIN, 6 digits,
Yep.
something like that. I would recommend that for all the other passwords, there are really safe password managers now that you can keep on your device. And it will create passwords for you and log passwords for you. And then you can just remember that one password to get into that app. And those are very secure and a very good way so that you don't have to keep using the same password over and over and over again.
Okay.
So that's a really safe one because, again, it eliminates how many things you have to remember. And we, of course, know that the more friction there is to a process, the less people are to use it. So
Right.
a password manager is a great way.
And really quickly, you were saying to do a phrase. Don't do your pet's
Yes.
name and your birthday.
Correct. We always say, think of a phrase that you can easily remember. I like to shop in Paris in the spring, for example. And then that is not my password, just for anyone curious. And then you can use the first letter of each of those words and then add in a special character.
All right. Thank you so much, Elizabeth Kwok from FTI Consulting. You're watching Women's Wednesday. Have a great one.
It's great.